Deputy Secretary John Sullivan, thank you for accepting this interview. You are the Deputy Secretary of State of the United States. This is the first visit of a senior U.S. official to Algeria since President Trump took office. What is the place of Algeria on the chessboard of American diplomacy today?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you today. I'm delighted to be here. I'm thrilled to be in Algiers. The place of Algeria in U.S. foreign policy is a very exalted one. Algeria is a very important partner of the United States. Our partnership extends across a broad range of issues: economic, security, political issues. And I've had a number of fruitful meetings today with the foreign minister, the prime minister, other members of the prime minister's government to advance our mutual interests.
And what about your talks with the Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Affairs?
Well, we've talked about a number of issues. First, we convened the 5th U.S.-Algeria counterterrorism dialogue. Our counterterrorism cooperation is a very important feature of our partnership. We've worked collaboratively together for many years to address the common challenges we face from terrorism. Both of our countries, the United States and Algeria, have suffered from terrorist acts, and we work together cooperatively to meet them, to identify them, and neutralize them, and to protect our countries. But our relationship, our partnership, is much broader than that. We have an economic relationship. We have U.S. companies that are doing business here. We had our first franchise, Pizza Hut franchise, open here. But we have other companies, Honeywell, Boeing, companies that are doing business here, looking to do business here, and that's part of what we were talking about today: is expanding our relationship and building on what has been a relationship that extends back centuries between the United States and Algeria. The foreign minister presented me today with a replica of a treaty from 1795 between the United States and Algeria, signed by George Washington, our first president. That gives you a sense of the depth and significance of the relationship and partnership over hundreds of years between the United States and Algeria.
Mr. Deputy Secretary Sullivan, the relationship between Algeria and the United States is above all a matter of business. The Americans have always criticized the business climate in Algeria and laws deemed protectionist. Is it still the case today?
Well, our approach is we're looking both to advocate for U.S. businesses that want to do business here, but we think it's also important for the Algerian government to know what private U.S. companies, other investors are thinking about when they look at doing business here. We think it's both in Algeria's interest and in the United States' interest for there to be an open market for foreign direct investment here in Algeria, which was important as Algeria looks to diversify its economy. That's something I spoke to the Prime Minister about today, the diversification of the Algerian economy beyond the hydrocarbon sector. So we have discussions at many levels about the economy and market access here, and we've had success. We've had U.S. companies that have had success here. We're looking to build on that, improve the market economy, and get more U.S. companies doing business here.
Algeria now plays a key role in the political process in Libya and Mali. Does the U.S. administration support these efforts? And above all, do you have any concerns that France is taking the lead in Libya?
Well, the role of Algeria in this region, in the Maghreb, in the Sahel, is vital. Algeria's leadership in Libya, for example, in supporting the UN Secretary General Special Envoy Hassan Salameh is very important, and that's a mission. Salameh's mission is one that we in the United States support. Algeria does as well. Their work, the foreign minister's work, the prime minister's work on these issues is vitally important to us. The foreign minister was in Mali at the end of last month, and his visit was a very important step. and we are looking to work cooperatively with Algeria on regional security issues that are in our mutual interests, and our policies are very much in alignment.
What is your assessment, sir, of the evolution of the political process in Algeria, especially 10 months before the crucial presidential election?
Our view is we want the will of the Algerian people to be expressed through a fair, free, and open democratic process. The United States doesn't back a particular candidate. The United States supports free and fair elections so that the will of the Algerian people is expressed. I heard today in my discussions with Algerian government officials their commitment to democracy, and that's what's the most important thing.
Your country, USA, transferred its embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem in May, a move that has been rejected around the world and seems to have disqualified you from leading peace negotiations. Is a Palestinian-Israeli agreement unimaginable today under these conditions, Mr. Sullivan?
To the contrary. I think the embassy move, which was announced by the president in December of last year and effected in May of this year, last month, is merely a recognition of reality. The Israeli government has been present in Jerusalem. We've had a consulate in West Jerusalem that engaged with the Israeli government. It was really a recognition of reality, facts on the ground by the president. It's something that every American president going back decades has promised. President Trump finally delivered, and we've moved our embassy. But in doing so, we haven't prejudged important issues like the final status of Jerusalem, whether there would be a capital of a Palestinian state if a two-state solution were to be agreed on by the parties, whether that capital would be in East Jerusalem, for example. None of those issues are prejudged. My colleagues in the administration at the White House, led by Jared Kushner, are leading very intense negotiations on these issues. As you know, Mr. Kushner and Jason Greenblatt, the president's special representative, were in the region meeting with leaders recently, and so our role in promoting peace in that corner of the world is very much alive and moving forward.
So the peace process today is still possible?
Not only possible, but a very important goal of the president. President Trump.
The United States has reconciled in some way with North Korea. Why have you agreed to dialogue with the North Koreans and not with the Iranians, when the Iranians do not have the atomic weapon and have even agreed to stop the enrichment of uranium?
Well, I've heard this assertion made in other contexts, and I'd have to correct one feature of it. We haven't reconciled with North Korea. The president accepted an invitation from Chairman Kim Jong-un to meet to discuss the threat that's posed by North Korea by its nuclear weapons testing and its missile program. And it's a sign of President Trump's commitment to nuclear nonproliferation and protection of our allies. And we believe that the threat that North Korea has posed with its ballistic missiles and its nuclear weapons testing is a global problem. Contrast that with Iran. We've had there's been a lot of news about the president's decision to withdraw from the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. That was an agreement that focused only on the capability of the Iranian regime to ultimately produce a nuclear weapon, which they haven't done yet. That agreement did not address ballistic missiles, which is a serious problem that Iran poses, as we've seen from the missiles that have been launched from Yemen into Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. The president considered that a big failing of the JCPOA. With North Korea, when we approach North Korea in these negotiations, which are pending after the president's summit with Kim Jong-un on June 12th, we're focused both on the weapon and the means to deliver it, the nuclear warhead and the missile. The JCPOA, among its failures, was it didn't address the Iranian regime's ongoing ballistic missile program, which is a threat already in the region.
John Sullivan, the Deputy Secretary of State of the United States of America, thank you to accept this interview.
Before we conclude, let me just say next week there are two important days next week for the United States and Algeria. July 4th is U.S. Independence Day. The following day, July 5th, is Algerian Independence Day. I want to wish you and the people of Algeria a very happy Independence Day. The close alignment of our countries is indicated by the fact that we have back-to-back days celebrating our independence, just another sign of our close relationship. Thank you.
And happy Independence Day for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.